It's 72 degrees at 8:09. Good morning. Happy Tuesday to you. It's July 19th. Welcome, and welcome to my guest in the studio. Andrew O'Grady is here from Mental Health America of Dutchess County. Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Always glad to have you here. Last time you came here, you weren't on the air. You brought us flowers because you had a flower fundraiser, and we bought some, and you hand delivered them.
I did do that.
You're really more than a delivery person, but we appreciated it a lot, and they were quite beautiful.
I'm glad you participated. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Yes, you had a very nice fundraiser, and you do so much for the area. So we're here to let you talk more about what you do, how you're going to help us, and how are you going to be able to fix everything that's wrong with us? Please, please, somebody's got to.
Who knows? Our system of care for mental health is not perfect by any stretch, but we do what we can in Dutchess County right now. Well, that's where we're located, and we have partners throughout Orange County and that are there to do the same. So, there's help available. We have a program in Beacon called the Beacon Pros program. It's a day program for people who, may need more than once a month or once every 2 weeks for a half hour with a therapist. Maybe you're struggling to find a psychiatrist. A lot of people are. We have a psychiatrist on site, and it's a psychoeducational program where we have classes throughout the day teaching people how to manage their money, how to talk to their psychiatrist without feeling intimidated, how to ask questions about the medications you're on if you're on medications. A lot of people that struggle with mental health issues don't ask the questions. They don't. It's a strange dynamic. They don't educate themselves about what's wrong with them. They just kind of go along with what the doctor says, as opposed to if we had a medical problem, we'd probably research it like crazy. But we don't do that in the mental health world, and we need to be part of the process and understand the illness, and then there's a better chance of, getting better.
So, if someone does have mental health issues, can their family members maybe educate themselves and then little by little help the person that way?
Yeah, there's some great programs. Another not-for-profit organization that I believe is located in the Mid-Hudson region is called NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness, and they have a family-to-family class. It's a fantastic class. It's about 8 weeks long, an hour once a week. And family members of people that have serious mental health issues come and they learn about the issues. They learn that they're not alone. That's the main thing. It's really taxing on families when somebody within your family unit is struggling with mental health issues. It's a family disease. It impacts everybody. And having that class and learning the resources and learning how best to communicate with that person, what works the best, and hearing from other people, it's really a great class. And Joanne Brown is a person you'd contact. You can Google NAMI, N-A-M-I, Mid-Hudson.
Okay. Yeah, I just found their national site, NAMI.org, but you can put them in touch locally. Yep. Good. And I know that the Mental Health Association in Orange County is also affiliated with NAMI. I've read their press releases before, too. And so a family member who feels helpless, there is help.
There is help. It's not easy right now to access care. I got to be honest.
Why not?
It's like the stigma is going away, and which is what we've been fighting for and hoping for, which has increased the number of people feeling confident and comfortable enough to reach out for help.
Oh, okay.
And at the same time, I don't know that there's enough therapy and enough psychiatrists out there to accommodate the need. And so there are a lot of waiting lists, and there are some apps out there that are very helpful that you can utilize. One is called Pacifier, Pacifyr. Another is called BetterHelp. And you can look in these apps and you can access a trained, licensed clinician 24/7 right on your phone. Is it the same as being in person with somebody? Maybe not, but maybe that's a perfect bridge until you have your appointment in 6 weeks when somebody's schedule opens up. Maybe that's an interim option for you as opposed to nothing. So.
Okay. People can contact you, though, to get started
Sure. Yeah.
Even if they're not in Dutchess County, you would refer them to where they need to go.
Absolutely. We pride ourselves, and hopefully that we do this. I'm speaking about what my expectation is within the organization, but we don't want to be that organization that, just tells you, sorry, wrong place, you got to call so-and-so. We'll hopefully make the phone call first, make sure we're giving you the right number. That's one of the practices we put in place in our organization when we're referring people somewhere. We try to call that number first to make sure that it's active, because sometimes people give out wrong numbers and old numbers. We want to, make that warm handoff, they call it. We want to make sure that and maybe we'll even call you back after the fact, make sure you got through to somebody. We want to make sure that if you're reaching out to us, it took a lot for you to pick up the phone and call us. So we know that it wasn't just a spur of the moment thing, and that you were serious and you need some assistance, and we want to make sure you get that assistance.
That's very warm and welcoming and appreciated. Yeah. To contact your organization, your website is mhadutchess.org. That's pretty easy to remember. And of course, you are co-sponsoring with us the Veteran Resources page on wallradio.com. But you don't just work with veterans, you work with anyone.
Veterans is a small part of our agency, a very important part. We've built it up in the last 4 years, and we are serving thousands of veterans and their families in the Dutchess County area. And it's not just Dutchess County. We help anybody that calls us. So if you're a veteran or you're a family member of a veteran, you're concerned about that veteran, call us up. Unlike other programs where you need a referral from a psychiatrist and you need a bunch of stuff.
Paperwork. Yeah, you have to do the paperwork first. Yeah. No, not in this case.
You just call us up at 845-473-2500, 845-473-2500. Ask for our Veterans Department and explain that you have a loved one that's a veteran that's struggling with whatever they're struggling with. And if you do that, if you make that phone call for them, we will reach out to that individual. We will go to the house and knock on the door if necessary. And I can, from experience, I can tell you that it wouldn't be the same as a psychiatrist or a social worker knocking on the door. It's another veteran, and people really are willing to listen and open up if a veteran, somebody who went through the same thing they went through, or understands them and comes through that military, they will open the door and they'll listen. And every veteran that we hire in our organization has history of PTSD and maybe current PTSD. They went through combat. They've seen things. They've experienced things. So they understand what the individual's going through firsthand. And because of that, there's a connection that's easily made. And I can promise you it really does work, and it really does help. You want to make sure that veteran typically isolates themselves when they're struggling with whatever they're struggling with, trying to acclimate back into society as it is here. And they isolate. And these veterans will engage them. Now their world is not so isolated at that point. And then they'll invite them to social events. Little by little, their world opens up. And it's pretty amazing. We've had events at the Renegade Stadium. We've had events at other places, and their world opens up, and it just changes for them in a great way.
The Hudson Valley Renegades are going to have another Veterans Night, aren't they?
They are. Yep.
August.
I don't know the date.
The 27th comes to mind, but you're relying on my memory. So we'll have to check on that, and we'll post that on the wallboard calendar for
Rick Solzer does some great stuff with us, and that's a day that we purchase many tickets. I believe that's the event. We purchase many tickets that those veterans and their families will be able to access, and the whole audience is veterans and their families. It's a really great night.
Okay, I'm Googling it right now. Let me see. I didn't type fast enough. Wait a minute. Yeah, I think it is August 27th. Oh, my goodness. I'll take it.
Wow.
I'll take a round of applause.
There you go.
Okay. You have so many services, and the nature of your business is You have to reach out to each person, find out what they need, and customize a plan for them. You can't just say, well, we'll fill out a form. We give everybody this treatment. It's one size fits all. That's not the case at all.
No, everybody's an individual, and everybody's complicated in their own way. And you really have to get to know the person, understand what makes them tick, what's going to help them, what they need. Do they need a lot of one-on-one time? Do they need just assistance in other areas? We'll figure it out. We were just talking before we got on about coaching and how important that is. And in some ways, the work that we do at MHA, we're not heavy on the clinical stuff. We don't have a lot of therapists and a lot of psychiatrists. We're heavy on the ancillary supports, the coaching, the being there for them, helping people navigate the system of care that we have that's so complicated, helping people access benefits that they need, helping people learn how to live independently. These are the things that we do, and that's a lot like coaching. And
it is.
And a good coach figures out what their person needs and gives it to them. And it's not one size fits all. It can't be.
It can't be.
Yeah.
And so thank you for the very important work that you do. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to try and fix the rest of the problems of the world together with Andrew O'Grady from MHA Dutchess County right here on Wall Radio. Yeah, and here we are in beautiful Orange County and the Hudson Valley, and we're talking about Mental Health America of Dutchess County because the CEO is here with me today, Andrew O'Grady. So here we are, 8:22 in the morning on a Tuesday, July 19th. Let's fix the world. What's wrong with the world? Why do we have so many of these shootings? Why are people just losing it and hurting other people? How do we fix it?
It's not an easy fix, I don't believe. I think there's so many things that have to happen, and it's not an overnight fix. It's a long-term fix, and we just have to change how we're doing things in this country.
What things?
There's everything, and I'm sure if I mention 1 out of 10 things that I think needs to be changed, somebody will turn me off.
Two things. Two things come to my mind right away. One is video games. Because just about every one of these mass shooters that you hear about, you also hear that they compulsively, for hours and hours, days and days and days, played violent video games. And it just became, a game. It's fun. It's something to do.
Yeah.
And that gets you more used to it. But the other thing is, even when I watch TV shows, the current cop dramas, the writers reach farther and farther out there for stranger, more bizarre, and more disgusting crimes to portray on just regular TV. And we're getting more and more used to it.
It
and
desensitizes
we all go,
us.
Ew. But it's more than ew when it's real.
Yeah.
And it gives some people the idea that, hey, I could do that.
I could do that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and what are they're gonna do it with? They're not gonna, it's just there's a lot. People are desensitized. People that get ingrained in these video games, for instance, are desensitized to death and killing, and it's all they do. They wear goggles and they're immersed in it. We have a lot of bullying that happens, and we talked about this earlier. There was always bullying. There's always somebody picking on somebody else. But you leave school, and you go home, and you can somehow, make it normal again because you can escape from that. But now you can't. You can't. It's on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, text messages.
The bullying can follow you home and never let up. Yeah.
And so that never lets up, and it changes people, and then you get to a point where, one mass shooting leads to another, and then it becomes an option for somebody. Now it's an option where you would never think that's an option 20 years ago. Now it's an option, and when you don't care anymore, and you want to leave this world, you might be at a place where you don't care if you go out with a bunch of other people, and maybe you impact the place that impacted you negatively, and that's a school.
And if somebody right now is listening to this and they say, you're making me think of a family member. You're making me think of somebody I know who's kind of caught up in that. Can you reach out to them in time, do you think?
You know, doing something is better than doing nothing.
Yes.
So, you know, we have programs, and so does every other agency around that deals with young adults, ages 3 to 21. So reach out to our agencies, ask what services we have for children, and let us try to engage these young people. We want them to be, you know, we want them to have some normalcy in their life. We want them to get out of their video games, out of their own minds, because right now they're stewing. These people, these rare small numbers of people who are doing these terrible things, they're stewing, and they're alone.
And the only place they feel in charge is in the virtual world.
Yeah, yeah. So we need to, you know,
bring them into the real world in a more healthy fashion, and you can help them. I hope.
I hope so. It's hard, but we need to do. You know, you need to be smart too, and make sure that, you know, if you have the Second Amendment right in your house and you have something, let's not make it readily available to that person. Let's make sure that these things are locked up and you use them when you're ready to use them and you want to use them for whatever reason. Let's not make it easily accessible for somebody you know is just not really doing well in your house, because you know, it may not be as bad as a mass shooting, but it might be suicide. And you know, that's the most, you know, that's one way people do it. They can do it any other way in the world. We can talk about that, but that's one way. So you wanna just take those tools away from that individual, or make it not so accessible.
And contact an organization that can give them better mental tools to deal with the world as it is. Oh.
We have a mobile crisis team in Dutchess County. That's you can call 98. Oh, by the way, 988 is a new number, just like 911. You can call 988 anywhere in this country right now, and you will get a mental health counselor that will be able to either dispatch a mobile crisis team, talk you through your struggles. 988 is a brand new number. You don't have to worry about what helpline is, what suicide line is. You don't need that anymore.
You don't have to memorize anything, but 988.
988.
Okay.
So
very valuable.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, I know you had mentioned that you were looking for this is, let's change the topic, get a little bit lighter. You have a big celebration coming up, and you're hoping to get businesses to donate items for a silent auction.
Yeah, if you're listening and you own a business and you have you know, an item that you would like to donate to a silent auction for our agency, we would greatly appreciate it. You could reach out to us at 845-473-2500, or look our number up if you forgot that number already on our website, mha.dutchess.org.
Don't dial 988 for that.
Don't dial 988 for that. But if you own a business, or you have an antique shop, or you have something where you could donate an item that would you know, bring interest and people would bid on it, we would love to have it to raise money for our organization, so we can continue to try to spearhead new initiatives. That's what we do with our extra money, that are unrestricted funds. We try new initiatives that are outside the box, that are going to, you know, move the needle in a good direction for people. So.
Okay. So they can contact you again through the website, which is mha.dutchess.org, or by that phone number that everybody's forgotten, 845-473-2500.
There you go.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming in. We have whooshed right through the time together.
It goes fast, doesn't it?
As always, yes. Andrew O'Grady, CEO of Mental Health America of Dutchess County, a good friend of ours at Wall Radio. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We appreciate all the work that you do. It's 8:30. Time for a CBS News update from Wall.